Hello, welcome to Todd Miller TV. I wanted to do a video about buying homes on the very low end and maybe explain some of the frustrations that some of you might be having out there and what to expect if you want to come to town and buy a $30,000 house. Okay, so we have two issues. One issue is the realtor side, and then one issue is the market side. So we're going to start with the market side. Okay. Houses that are very low in price range are in high demand, and the reason they're in high demand is because as a percentage, those homes have taken the biggest hit. You know, some of these homes were, worth maybe $200,000, they're now worth $40,000, they're a fifth of what they were worth. So a lot of people see those and say, hey, these could really rebound if I buy a bunch of them, and those values could all come back, and I could, quadruple my money in a certain amount of time. So not only that is they're rentable. And so you can, get a place for 40, 50 grand, maybe get, $600-700 a month of rent out of it, get a good ROI, it's great. So you get all these benefits. The problem is everybody else realizes this too. So these things are super competitive. I mean, anything under about $100,000 is going to get a ton of offers. We got 53 offers on one property that was listed for $93,000, ended up selling for like 115 or so, way over, right? Okay, so you're in the most competitive section of the market when you're in the really low end. Now we're going to look at the realtor side. Okay, it takes just as much work for a real estate agent to do a process a transaction and help a person on a $50,000 house as a $1 million house. It does. Now, just keep in mind that realtors tend to get paid based on the commission, which is a percentage of the selling price. So let's take a $50,000 home and let's look at the commission 2.5% on average. So that's $1,250 for the agent. And what is going to be involved for the agent to get that $1,250? Well, what's going to be involved is the agent's going to have to probably either go with the investor or preview probably 20 or 30 houses, write offers on probably 10 of them, hope to get one accepted, maybe not. I talked to one investor recently who said, hey, we only looked at 20 to 30 houses to get one. And you know what, that's a ton of work. So the realtor does all this work, maybe he doesn't get a house at all. Maybe they go out and look at 20 or 30 houses and then end up not getting anything. For what? To get $1,200? And then remember, this is the agent has typically transaction fees they have to pay to their company, or they have commission splits to the company. So when all is said and done, the agent gets about $500, $600, and it's really not going to be worth their time. There's a lot of work agents do that the consumer doesn't see. You're not aware that they're doing stuff. So all this process and everything, it's cumbersome. So if you're in the low end and you're trying to find an agent, and you're finding that your agents aren't very reliable, or you're having a hard time, then that's normal for this situation. Okay, so, and you're probably not used to that. You probably said, hey, I've never had this much problem with agents before, but when they're going to make 10 grand, you're going to get a lot more personal attention than a smaller amount. So there's a couple ways you can, as a consumer, you can overcome that. One is just agree to pay them something. You guys negotiate an amount and say, hey, we'll pay you this much money if you help us. We'll give you whatever your transaction fee, we'll pay that. We'll give you a minimum commission. We'll make sure you make $1,500, $2,000, whatever, and just make it good for them. Make them want to do the work. People have gotten so used to not having to pay the agent, because the agent gets paid from the other agent, the listing agent, that it's now foreign to people and they don't want to do it, but so you're kind of stuck in this place. I also had somebody who said, hey, we're going to buy a lot of these houses, so you'll make it up on the volume. And it's like, wait a minute, so now you're going to be working 30 times as hard each for that maybe $600 paycheck at the end of the day. And that doesn't include taxes, by the way. That's just the check they get at closing, right? After they pay the broker and the company and everything. So, just keep that in mind. If you're looking in the low end, you're not going to just find agents ready to jump all over you. I actually have had people come in and say, Well, I want to do some of the work myself. Scout the houses out online. So I want some of the commission. You credit that back. I mean, seriously, what? So just keep, be aware of that. I wanted to share that with you because there's misperception out there. Most full-time agents who are good have business. They have clients. They just don't have to take any person that comes along. Typically, the person that'll take anybody that comes along isn't worth working with. So anyway, so I thought I would share that with you. That's sort of my thought about the interactions on the low end when you're buying a super low end property between a buyer, investor, and an agent, and what to expect. So anyway, that is my update for today, and hope to see you on another video. Thanks.